If you want to make sure you stay in good conversation, you gotta tune in to Coffee and Conversation with Collette. That's me, Thursday mornings from 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. on the only station, WHPR TV 33. See you soon.
Great, amazing Thursday to you. Rise and shine up and at 'em. It's an awesome new day, and you're officially tuned into Coffee and Conversation with Collette. And I'm Collette, and y'all know I do my curtsy because that's what I do. Because I know that you could be anywhere, doing anything, watching any program, and you make the conscious decision to be right here with us on WHPR TV 33, or whether you're tuning in by Comcast 91 or Roku or streaming live, whatever it is. You've made a conscious effort to be a part of the conversation, and we don't take that for granted. And what are the ultimate goals on this program? As always, to what? Educate, enlighten, and empower. And something's happening. I mean, the lines are already lit. You guys are so great. You don't even know what's even happening yet. Or do you remember? So guess what? We're in May already. Now, it seems like we just had the conversation about what we were going to do this year, what this year looked like for us. That was going into the year. And now we're almost halfway through. So I am trying to do something different and wanting to do something different in the desire to engage us, said, you know what? One day I'm going to give someone the show. I'm just going to give them the show, and I'm going to be the co-host. I'm going to be that co-pilot. I'm going to be that sous chef. Everything that's the side. I'm going to be the Tonto. You want me to keep, I'm going to be the Stimpy. I'm going to be Pinky, the brain, Pinky and the brain. Okay, you get the point. That someone else is going to lead the ship on the day, and then I'm just going to contribute to the conversation like you all are always so kind to do with us on Coffee and Conversation. So today he is in the building. You've heard him on the airwaves. I don't know if you all have had the pleasure to ever meet him in person, but he is here, the Patriot, Mr. Les Little. Great, amazing morning to you, sir.
Good morning.
It's so nice to have you in the studio.
Well, it's a pleasure to be here.
Oh, nice. So this is your show. Les, now all the lines are lit. This is Les's show today. I'm just happy to sit here.
Well, I want to say good morning, fellow patriots.
Yes, absolutely. Great morning, fellow patriots. That's what
So happy to be here.
Yes.
At the great studio of WHPR.
Absolutely.
It's all happening right here.
Yeah.
All the great information. This is my mainstream.
Oh, yeah, this is it right here. This is it.
Mainstream.
Yeah, this is it. When you want to know what's happening, this is it.
Mm-hmm.
Don't tune into those other shenanigans.
That's right.
Because that's all it is shenanigans. They talk about the same thing. It's just a different host. You already know.
That's right.
Okay, so far. Right. We don't have to be this. You want this time to talk about that.
Well, that's
Right.
right. But I'm here because open that poster.
Guess what? He came bearing gifts this morning. Look. And I don't even know what this is because I wanted to be as surprised as everyone else. Wow, everyone, and I'm going to turn like this so you can see today's vote, tomorrow's future. U.S. Court of Appeals, Sixth Circuit, please. Cincinnati, Ohio, May 3rd, 2002. Keep the vote, no takeover. Oh my goodness. And let me read the bottom because there's a bottom inscription that's most important.
Pictures on there?
Let me see. Better days. Okay, no, that's the photo. Okay, gotcha. Let's see. Oh, Queen Mother Helen Moore. Let's see. Oh, Sherry McPhail.
George Washington, the white guy next to him.
Oh, that's right over here.
No, he's over with the white hair.
Oh, with the white hair?
He's got hair.
Oh, okay, he's got hair. Him right there?
That's right.
Okay, him right there. Y'all can't see it. Right, we acting like y'all right here with us. That's how we feel, like we're right at home in your home audience. Wow, but, okay, so this is what it's about.
That's what it's about.
May 3rd, 2002.
I was there.
This was it.
That's right. I was there.
Come on now.
Ohio.
And that's, of course, Dr. King in the corner, everyone.
That's all about. This is his dream.
Wow, this is his dream. And so, how fitting is it? No, lesson, that's how things happen in divine order. Because how fitting have we been chronicling this journey. We started off a couple of weeks ago as we shared with the audience. Everyone, what did we talk about? We talked about our search for freedom. What does it look like for us? Our citizenry in these United States of America. We started off with the assassination. It wasn't a celebration. It was an assassination of Dr. Martin Luther King. Then we went right after that to the celebration of the life in the homegoing of Winnie Mandela.
That's right.
Then what did we talk about? Lynching, the history of lynching and the Equal Justice Initiative. And they opened up the museum, everyone, on the 26th. So you need to go down to Alabama and check that out. And then we came right about the process.
Yeah.
What does it look like for us? Are we even understanding
No.
what is happening in
No.
this governmental process and who we're supposed to be in the process? I tell everyone, and as I said it last week, I don't care who you vote for. Seriously,
Right.
I really don't if you make the educated decision,
Right.
everyone.
That's right.
And so everyone always talks about they don't have the information. I told you all last week, I invited you all over to the Davo Sheffield
That's right.
Center. So gubernatorial candidate Sri Tanadar, he will be there today again at 5 p.m. at the Sheffield Center for a meet and greet. Tomorrow there will be Mayor Bill Wild. He's 13th congressional district candidate. He'll be there at 12 noon. Davo Sheffield, 12048 Grand River, the corner of Grand River and Wyoming. You all, it's not about if I show up, I'm going to vote for this person. It's if I show up, let me ask the questions. Because I don't see these other candidates coming so you can touch them and you can feel them and you can have a list of what's going on and you can make them accountable. Maybe less the issue is we don't even know the importance of our vote because we don't understand the vote.
Well, on that day,
So let's
I saw
talk about
that.
this.
On that day, I saw it. You know, at Keep the Vote No Takeover.
Okay.
We used to meet down at the St. Regis Hotel,
Okay.
and it was a nice, comfortable room, something like this room.
Like the
here,
studio?
the
Okay.
studio.
Sure.
And I thought every week that we would have to leave
Easy.
their studio and go to a bigger
Because you
studio.
couldn't fathom
That's correct. I couldn't
Right,
fathom
not
people
having
didn't
people.
Understand that our democracy was under attack. Our free will to choose our own school board was under attack.
Sure.
To guide our future children, future was under attack.
Sure.
They didn't see that.
No. But I mean, okay, so you all get this, and we see that all the lines are lit. So we're going to get to all of you, we promise, on our hour. And let me just tell you, I tried to give Les 2 hours. Yes, tomorrow. And if he wants to, he can absolutely come back. I mean, that's what we do. But I just have to tell you all, if we don't get it this go around, I don't even know what else to say.
No.
Seriously, Les,
I
I don't
agree.
even, because guess what? Maybe to your point, we couldn't really wrap our arms around the importance of being able to control education for our children because we can't control the dynamics of our adult lives. We don't make the decisions to be functional adults. I didn't say thriving adults. I didn't say excelling adults in this society. I'm talking about functional. We don't engage to the minimum degree to make some type of normalcy for us, that we're not always struggling, that we're not always in a rat race, and we're not always begging someone or having a handout.
Well, part of the reason is that we don't accept where we are. We keep choosing to honor the Father, which is, I'm going to show you a demonstration.
Okay, we had demonstrations. Don't you all love that? We have posters. Maybe this is our learning tools. We have posters, and then Les brought demonstrations. Okay.
This is the fatherland.
Yes,
okay?
the fatherland, the mother fatherland. Yes.
This is the motherland.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Fatherland, motherland.
Do you all get that? Are you all? Did you all look? Hello.
Fatherland,
Do you all
motherland.
see? Look, everyone. Look, I'm gonna hold it. Do you all see? That's one flag. You all can't say you don't see it. Here's, you got the other flag. Let's you'll put it on your side. The flag. But Les, maybe the truth is we don't. Well, I mean, let's stay there. How many of us realize that we existed before America?
Yeah. And
We
that's
believe-
history. And why do we keep talking about one facet of our history, and that's being slaves? We were free men. We came here free men.
Yes.
We lived as free men.
Yes. Yes.
So, and women too.
Yes, I well, no, we all, and right, we didn't take it offensive
Okay.
because we knew that we were all included.
Of course.
And guess what? And even if those of us who were birthed out of the slavery experience, because that is one facet of us in
right.
America, then what? What else? Then what? It's more to us than that experience. And you guys, we made America. Do you not get that? We made America. If it wasn't for the blood, sweat, and tears of black folk here, America would not be what it is, because I didn't see any of the Rockefellers, J.P. Morgan Chase. We all talked about how it was built, how the men built America. I didn't see any of them out there.
No.
They weren't picking any cotton. They weren't building any railroads. They weren't building any houses. They weren't establishing society and regulations. And they didn't do all, well, they did the governing part, but they didn't do the work. But okay, I'm sorry, I'm talking too much.
Well,
Joe,
that's
you,
all right.
no, right.
I understand.
No, because you got me all excited. And let me just tell you, it was so funny. I hit Les yesterday, which you all know I try to have information and reading. And I said, well, Les, are you going to have anything for me to review, to prepare? He was like, no, I have something for you tomorrow. And I was like, well, what's this going to be like? But I appreciate that the Patriot believes that I am so versed in my conversation and my gathering of information that we can have an intelligent conversation because we don't waste anyone's time with factual information.
Ramsey.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, stop.
See, I've always, God has given me the ability to, of course, be here.
Yes, absolutely.
But to understand who we are.
Yes.
And to spot extra special people.
Oh, yes.
Like the next show is the extra special.
Absolutely. She
Jackie
is.
Watson, okay?
Yes.
So I spotted her, okay?
Right.
We
all spotted her.
Yeah.
Like she grew me up.
Okay.
I used to watch her and marvel and just move.
That's
like
right.
how she moved from circle to circle, just moving. Yeah, being her movement in her movement. Yeah.
See, but I had a good lesson. I started off with Roberta Little, my mom.
Amen.
I watched her. Me and my sister, at the death of one of her employers, we was out at some restaurant, and we was the only black people in the room.
Wow.
And
right, and you weren't staff.
We weren't
staff for the restaurant.
We were special guests.
Right.
We were special guests of the family.
Yes.
So we had the primary seats, and we sat down, and my mother got up and started working the room, and everybody was calling my mother. The room was packed, just like this room here. It was full of people.
Nice.
And everybody was hollering at it. And me and my sisters were at odds at how she was working the room.
She was doing her thing.
Yeah, but she was a special lady.
Absolutely.
They recognized that.
Absolutely.
See, that's how I recognize special.
Bless her.
For she,
okay,
and we still honor her by
absolutely.
Giving her.
Yeah. It's that simple. So please continue. So everyone, we didn't get off on a tangent, but again, it brought us right back. So on this day,
that's right,
in 2002, so that was 16 years ago.
16, that's right. We failed to answer the call. We failed to answer the call. And I know people think, 500, 600 to 800 people is a good number of people.
Right.
Yeah, but not a good number to change democracy in America. Not to get to change things. We missed the boat on that one. That's why I say it was the shot not heard around the world.
16 years ago.
16 years
and so let me just ask you this. And everyone, we're going to pose it. And let me make sure you get the numbers if you didn't have them already. 313-868-0342. 313-868-0351. And, of course, 313-868-4336. So, let me just say, the truth of the matter is we didn't have the multitudes that you expected then. And we don't have the multitudes now.
No.
Okay.
No.
I just had to put it out there. I needed to create some reality to this thing because maybe some of you thought, well, no, we've advanced.
Yeah.
We're better than what we were in 2002. I venture to say we're worse. I'm going to just say it.
I think they're getting it now. Well, since Donald Trump's been in office.
Well, question, say there, Les. Who's getting it?
The multitude of people. This is just not about black African American. It's a problem in America when Sandy Hook's children get shot down.
Yeah.
And nothing gets done in Washington, D.C. Although 92% of Americans, and you heard me say this, 92% of Americans say, get something done.
Absolutely.
And nothing gets done. Right here, we wanted Public Act 4, the emergency manager law, to go away. It didn't go away because the legislators decided better than the people. See, we got people in office now thinking they know more than the people know.
Absolutely.
And that's the problem right now that I have, that we don't recognize. And I think the young people in Parkland, Florida, I think they understand that.
Sure.
Let
me ask you this. And maybe the young people in Detroit, Michigan. And maybe the young people in Highland Park, Michigan. And maybe the truth of the matter is, let's see, because you always bring things out. Everyone, that's the beauty of this conversation, is that there's a literal death or there's a figurative death. And so how many of us are dying figuratively every day? So you go through the process, you go to the school of education, you go to that middle school, the elementary school, the high school, you go through the motions, and what? It's futile.
Yeah.
Because the information that they're giving you, if they're even giving you time, we saw the test scores. We know what reading looks like for us. We understand that at the end of the day, we're not performing. We're not performing. And so whether you're going to shoot us with a gun or you're going to shoot us was misinformation?
Well, we mentioned Tulsa, Oklahoma earlier.
Sure.
And I was mentioning to Sean about the truck. That's why we picked up the truck at Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Nice.
When I got a chance to visit that museum down there. And I felt that.
Black
power.
Wall Street,
That's
everybody.
Right. Exactly.
And just on that note, let's stay there. Everyone, the first Friday movie at Dabo Sheffield Center is going to be tomorrow, Friday, and it's Black Wall Street. Starts at 6 o'clock. You all know it's free. Bon Appetit is doing the catering. Black Wall Street will be aired. Dinner starts at 6. Free movie, dinner, free 6:30, respectively. So so let's go ahead with that.
Well, I think this is the modern day Black Wall Street because they destroyed a community.
Sure.
They didn't drop a bomb on it. Yeah. They just took it over.
Yeah.
To me, this was dictatorship.
Okay. Sure. Yeah, we talked about that.
436 is a dictatorship bill.
Yeah.
Now, how can anybody in America want somebody to come in? This is about home rule, and we lost it. We lost the control to control our own destiny and our own family's destiny when we allowed them to come in and take over our city.
Sure. Well, you know what? Say there less, because I'm going to ask, and maybe you all think the same thing. You want to go to the lines. Maybe the truth of the matter is they had already taken over. And it's a psychological takeover. It is a mental takeover for the simple fact that we didn't have the fortitude to be able to engage, to actually move ourselves. We couldn't think through the process that would say, guess what, self? You need to get up, get out, and do something. Get something done. Come out, use your voice. Because at the end of the day, I mean, you all saw the news the other day. Now the state has officially released Detroit from this financial overview committee that everyone kind of didn't really know about or what they were really doing, but the state is now not overseeing Detroit anymore financially. I mean, did you all know? Do you all even know what's going on? Do you even care? I mean, are you just so caught up in the shenanigans of Trump that you don't know what it looks like from a local perspective? Or everyone's caught up in the name? And guess what? I'm not mad at if that's what it is, but say that. Just say, guess what? I don't know any of the issues. The issues aren't important to me, and I just like that person.
Well, and truly, Collette, it's not important to them because they don't feel that their vote counts. That they don't.
Anyway.
It don't count. And they don't count because you know what? How can I tell them it doesn't when they see it for themselves? That it doesn't matter what you do. That they're changing it.
Wow.
But this is a deeper problem. That's why I say although you on the court, you just can't sit down on the court.
Right.
You still got to play some defense.
Right.
You still got to play.
Because you're still in the game.
That's right.
Right.
We still in the game.
Did you all get that? So you're still in the game. So whether you do something or you don't, you're still in the game. Whether you actively exercise and realize that my vote is my voice, as the Patriot has coined, that you can just sit there and let it happen to you, but you still a willing participant. So if you're going to be a willing participant, if it's happening to you, then why don't you just say, okay, let me get up and do something about it. Let me at least get the information. Let me ask. I think it's so interesting, Les, and then I promise I'm going to go to the lines now because they're lit. I watch the meet and greets, right? And someone told me after the meet and greet with candidate Shri Thanadar that, well, it doesn't seem like he has a plan. And I said, that's really interesting. I said, so let me ask you, did you ask Governor Snyder? Did he have a plan? Were you that exact when he was running for office to say, did he have a plan? Why does it seem like when it comes to people of color, we're always so critical of people of color versus the mainstream? And let me just tell you all, I prefer someone who knows the issues. Yeah. Can you talk about what is important to me? What is plaguing me? What are the ills of this community? If you don't even know what the issues are, if you can't even identify with the issues, then how can you go into a situation, assess what's really there? Because the truth is, no matter what office we're talking about, once you get in that position, you won't know what it is until you start unearthing things. Pulling the layers. Because you can have a plan all day. And you walk up in that door and find out really what they've done. And then all that goes out the window. That's like a business plan. What do they say? The business plan is just for you. It's not for anybody else. They just want to see, do you have an idea of what it is you're trying to get us to believe in? It's just like this. We want to still hold somebody so accountable for who we're supposed to be versus saying, look, I want to know that you know what's important to me so I can tell you what to do for me. That's the narrative. Their job is for us. It goes to what the Patriot is saying. But again, we give our power away, right?
We always do.
We always give our power away.
See, when you're the I guess on top, I guess sometimes you take that for granted. You've been on top for so long.
We think we're on top.
Well, it's a lot of us feel we are. We do because we know how great we are. Mentally, it's a lot of us know that. A lot of us know that, but we just don't have the financial fortitude and interest to back that up. That's all.
Well, maybe, and why is that? Because we're just happy. Well, we're happy with the job.
Well,
so we're just happy with the job, and we're happy with playing into this image of America, the dream of America.
Right, exactly.
So the dream of America is, I'm going to get this job, and then we're going to buy this house, and we're going to get this car, and we're going to accumulate all this debt, and then we're just going to keep working because no one talks to us about how to save money.
Right.
People of color, we ain't talking about saving money. Now, back in the day, our grandparents and great-grandparents, what do they always say? They didn't ever put everything in the bank.
That's right.
You could have certain places in the house you knew where monies were for a rainy day. We don't talk about those things. So many of us are in their 60s and 70s still having to work because you can't depend on Social Security because you might get $700 or $800 a month.
Yeah.
But we're winning though. We're winning, Les.
Well, we are. We are winning as a society. I see that now because we are fighting.
Okay.
We have changed. It's changing.
Okay.
We are fighting. We understand that. This new administration has helped the movement because I was worried. Because I worked with Collette.
Not you.
I was worried. Back about 15 years ago. I was worried. 16. I was there in Cincinnati. I was security, so I had outside, and I was kind of disappointed, and a lot of folks didn't understand that.
Sure.
But I wanted to really manage a crowd.
Yeah.
I didn't have a crowd.
You want to move the crowd. I need thousands, like March on Washington.
That's right.
I just wanted it to be full for blocks and blocks.
I was expecting folks from around the world to come and join into this fight. Because like they do, I know they hear about cases, around the country.
Yes.
And I don't think they understood how important this case was. I don't think Flint would have happened if we would have showed up on May 3rd, 2002.
Well, did you all get what he said? So if we would have showed up, Flint wouldn't have happened. But Flint's still happening, Les.
Yeah, well,
so Flint's still happening. I mean, I told you all last week, didn't you all get the news flash? That where the Senate has approved more state troopers, monies for more state troopers, we're cutting Flint water to buy bottled water for Flint. So no more buying water for Flint. Did you all get that? Did you hear what I just said? So there was a governmental decision from Lansing that said the people that you elected and selected, they said no more. Guess what, everybody? We just going to sign this legislation right here that says we're not going to buy any more bottled water for Flint.
Yeah.
Are you kidding? Is it? I mean, am I missing something? That's an immediate effect act, like right now, like that's still happening right now. And then the people that were elected, have you heard anything from them?
Well, that's why we need to elect people that you can hear from. That's what we need, Collette. People that understand what position we are in America right now.
Okay, so what are you running for? Yeah, I'm just saying. Because let me just tell you, the people that I see out here, the same names. I got some literature in my mailbox the other day, and I saw this candidate, and I said, I know you didn't.
Yeah.
I know you didn't just move into this district. Now, you just had some shenanigans where you were seated as an elected official. Then you move into this district to run for another seat. And then you just think people don't know, huh? We just don't even care. We just don't know. I mean, I'm just asking.
Collette, I always figure you are a candidate. It's the people that ask you to be the candidate. They come to you. You don't feel upon yourself
you know
say,
too much, Les. Because you couldn't be the Pinocchio to the Geppetto. That's what it is. I said it. That's what it is. So the people who should be in office, they're not in office because the people won't support them because you can't be controlled. Because you really understand this thing of government and you're really going to defer to the people and the voice of the people because you're going to really know what the issues are and then work to create legislation that's going to meet the needs of the people. But those of us who have that aptitude aren't the ones that are selected. Did you get that news flash? I don't know.
No, I don't know if they got it.
Well, let's see if the callers got it. Okay, we appreciate your patience. I think we've done a great job at opening up the conversation. So let us see. You are on with the Patriot this morning. Great, amazing day to you.
Good morning.
Great morning.
You know, I was reading the newspaper, and they said the other day Detroit is back in full control.
Mm-hmm.
And I was with some guys, and they said, "Man, yeah, it's good, ain't it?" I said, "No, the question we should ask of what are we in control of? Because when we look at public lighting, we're not in control. DTE got that. The city council, predominantly black city council, gave it to DTE.
Okay.
Trash collection, snow removal, grass cutting are done by private concerns outside from the suburbs. Then we look at housing. The land bank under a white woman and the housing commission is not a part of the city government, controls the housing. When you look at health department, it's been eliminated.
Okay.
Cobo Hall is the authority. So the question is, what is Detroit City Council control of? The next thing I read.
Well, wait, stay right there. Brother Tyrone, stay right there. Brother Tyrone, hold on one second, because I want Les to comment on that. Mm-hmm. Do you have an opinion about that?
Well, they can't control anything. And as long as they have Public Act 436 on the books, they will never be able to control things. Okay. That's my opinion.
Well, let me just ask you, and then the rest of you out here who are following this conversation, and I'm just going to say it, and it means what? So if they said, newsflash, the financial review team has decided to release Detroit into its own realm, and then what? I need to understand what is that? The truth is, let me just tell you, the state is determining what's going on, and all Mayor Duggan and Dan Gilbert are doing are creating new business opportunities for the city. That's what they're doing. And let me just say, and the city council is just there as a placeholder. That's just what it is. Now, you might say, well, Collette, that's not true. Well, tell me how it's not. Because if you understood the delineation with roles, the city council is a legislative body. They're the ones that are supposed to be pushing out policy and law. The city, the mayor, is administration. That's the operations. Right. Do you see that happening? It seems like the mayor is just doing everything. He's just telling you what law is going to be. He's going up and talking to the governor and lobbying for what it is that he wants. Then he's going out to businesses and he's creating plans, and y'all still don't know. Did you all watch the interview at Harvard School of Government when he went there? I saw it. It's about an hour long. It was really amazing. It was just really amazing. And y'all, let me just say this, and I had to catch myself. I'm gonna say it. I had a fundamental problem with the presentation that the only way Detroit could come back was at the hands of white folks. That's just the truth. That's how it was set up. That's how the moderator, now Detroit, and now you have JP Morgan Chase, who's a partner, and they're bringing monies. But let me just say, the gentleman from JP Morgan Chase, he said, but this, because Mayor Duggan alluded to this last administration and how the downfall of the city. And the man from JP Morgan Chase said, no, it's been 30 to 40 years in the making. Yeah. So I appreciated that, because don't act like just because the previous administration were people of color, then now that's why Detroit was doom and gloom. No, the truth is the racism of business determined that Detroit was not going to grow because you didn't want black people at the helm of a growing space. That's the truth of the matter. And so you couldn't decide, hold on one second, I'm going to let you come back in, Tyrone. Hold on one second. And then, now that the white man is in, and then the white people say, this is great now because the white man's in, and then we can come and get the business that we want, and we can grow the way we want, and we can pull everything down because the white man's there, then it's good. I mean, that's like this whole little train thing they have. What's that thing that they spend all this money on? I just saw that article. What did they say? The L train. The L train. They forecast it was supposed to be 5,000 riders, 3,000, 3,200. It's below expectation. You think? You would have the L train and the bus going the same way, and you think that one is going to trump the other? Am I missing? But that's planning, though. That's the planning for where we are. Oh, okay, I'm sorry. Finish your thought, please, Brother Tyrone.
Yeah, here's what we got to understand.
Okay.
Is that I read Robert
Yes, it is.
He said that, I'm going to quote him, they continue to talk about racism that serve them as a shield to where we won't understand what the black city councils did to the people of Philadelphia. The same thing in Detroit. The black city councils collaborated with Lansing and say we want to take all the assets from Detroit. And the city say we're going to write up what they call memorandum of agreement. And that means you all will only have a say, but the real owners, the collected owners, the public who paid taxes for the water and all these things, won't have a vote. The predominant city council in Detroit did that to us. That's where racism came in.
Sure, wait, stay
it's
right.
The black city councils in Detroit and across this country. With the blessings of the black church.
Yeah, stay right there for 1 second, Brother Tyrone. Stay right there for 1 second, because I really want to make this point. I know elected officials in Philadelphia. You know, I held 15 years coming out of Philadelphia. Actually, this weekend is my 25th year anniversary from college. It's our 25th. Can you imagine? I've been out of for 25 years. But anyway, I know current sitting council members. I know current senators and folks out of Philadelphia. Your point, let me just say, I just think we give our elected officials here too much credit. City council doesn't know what they're doing. I hear what you're saying, Brother Tyrone. You have a consciousness of who they're supposed to be, but I honestly don't even believe that they know what's going on around them. They are so happy to have a title and to be in the room. They don't even. I promise you, if you called up somebody right now, they couldn't tell you what's going on. They couldn't tell you.
If you look at Ken Crocker Jr., left city council after he served his corporation, and he works for now Future Detroit, making $207,000.
Sure.
If you look at Jenkins, who left Detroit after giving everything away, that little fat girl was on city council, and she worked for Saul, making $207,000. Yes, they do know what they are doing.
No. I don't. Wait, say that, Brother Tyrone. They don't know. They might know what they are doing for their independent self, for what they think is the big come up to use this elected office. Now I'm gonna get this better job. I'm gonna get this payoff that it doesn't benefit the people. But let me tell you, that is nothing compared to Sheila Cockrell. Left city council, and she just got a grant for over $1 million for her organization. So let me just be clear. Did you all get that? So these folks, y'all happy because you got a little $100,000 job, okay? She leveraged that thing and got $1 million grant. That's just one. $1 million grant off of her politics. Did you all just see the article in the USA Today the other day about all the elected officials who are millionaires?
Ooh.
None of them were black. Trot coming out of Michigan. I can give you the list. So to your point, they don't know. I hear you, Tyrone. They know what they're doing to get a job. They don't know what they're doing to create policies that makes it better for us. And their jobs ain't nothing to
got a college education. Those are the black intelligentsia. And the intelligentsia of all races always gravitate to those who control the economy throughout written history. So they know what they're doing. Okay, now.
Okay, we appreciate you. We're going to get all the callers in. Thanks so much. I mean, so do you think they know what they're doing?
Yes, they do.
You do?
Yeah,
wait. So let me clarify my question. Do they know what they're doing as it pertains to the people?
Yes, they are there to sell the people out, so they can get them a good job. That's been their plan.
So that's the plan.
See, everybody understands. See, right after the this May 3rd, 2002, it was an article in the Detroit News on December the 16th, 2002, where it says Boss McNamara. Okay?
Yeah.
There you go.
The boss.
Boss.
Oh, yeah, he had a machine.
That's right.
He had a machine.
And when his machine, how he explained it from A to Z.
Yes.
And I'm saying, you writing this down? Not too long after that, he was dead. Okay, so I figured they you know,
you didn't
they
need
said,
to, right?
well, I'm a conspiracy theorist.
Yes,
you know,
anyway.
they said natural causes, but you know, we didn't see too many
Anything can
spy
happen.
movies.
Yeah, I'm just saying. Yeah, I mean, that's who America is. Well, let's see what the rest of the callers say. You all might believe that they know what they're doing. I'm just trying to say, if you knew what you were doing, the situation. Well, let me stop.
Well, they know
stop.
what they're doing.
Right, my bad. Stop.
They are there to destroy the community that they were supposed to be serving.
And I'm not speaking of everyone in its entirety. Because there, I believe, are some good city council members. I mean, I do that to you all, but I believe overall, as a whole. But then why should I? Well, stop it, sheep. They weren't taught any different. They were taught to do just what they're doing right now. Let's go to the lines. Thanks for your patience. Great, amazing morning to you.
How you doing today?
We're amazing, thank you.
First, I give a shout out to P33.
Yes.
Comcast channel number 1.
Sure.
WHPR. Detroit Highland Park. How you doing to your guest today?
Yes.
I mean, the host of your show. Hey. How you doing, co-host, Mr. Graham?
I'm great. How about yourself, brother?
All right. Thank you for having a great show.
We appreciate that.
Thank you for giving the opportunity for your regular to verbalize on your show.
Sure.
That's a very nice thing you do.
Right. That's what I do. Right.
When you look for good, you find good. Look for bad, you find bad.
Okay.
Motherland, fatherland, that's what's up.
Okay. Well, stay right there. Is that what's up if we know what to do with it? I guess maybe that's where I'm really at right now. Yeah. Well, let me just ask you, then I'm going to let you finish your thought. But see, you guys, you got me on a roll here. That's what you don't really understand who you all are to me. It's all triggers. I don't know if you ever saw that movie called Lucy, where she took she had the enhancer, and so everything, and it was enlightened with her. That's who you all are to me. So when you say things, it's all these neurons, and it triggers. So I get triggers. So when you just said that we don't leverage father homeland, so we sure can't leverage America. That's what we don't get it. We don't get it, man. Finish your thought, please. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Okay,
I'm gonna stop. I'm sorry.
No, I'm gonna just make a comment about an experience that happened to me yesterday.
Okay.
I'm at Wyoming next month. I see a group of older people.
Okay.
I don't recognize any of them. Since they mark part of my name, I'm not scared to speak to nobody in my community.
Right.
Because I really see my community as my home. Let me repeat that. I see my community as my home.
Yes.
It doesn't matter who's in control as far as the government, because it's my home. It's the people. Like I said about my organization, an organization no more than the people. A community no more than the people. So I have no problem speaking to people in the community.
Okay.
There's 5 or 6 individuals around my age.
Okay.
He said, how y'all doing today? Most of them didn't speak.
Right.
There's one lady did. She said, how you doing?
Okay.
Well, all right. And then this gentleman walked up and said, hey, don't I know you? And I turned around. And I'm like, yeah, my name is DJ. I said, I always know anybody in my community. I said, yeah, I was kind of speak to my community.
Okay.
He said, I know you. I said, now I'm fixing to say from the neighborhood. And the thing is, people that know I say my community know our community used to go from State Fair to Northland, both sides.
Okay.
So it was just a blessing that I first reached out to speak to people I didn't know.
Sure.
It just so happened to somebody who don't me know.
Okay.
So right now, the greatest thing that you've been doing, Ms. Ramsey, is allowing actual candidates who can actually be in control of our government, of our community. And you create a positive working relationship. In the future, they might enhance the things you want to do in our community.
Sure. That's
a doer. Now, there's a history for the last 10 years. Because remember now, I'm a JD Hill is still my mentor. The things that I do, some of the things you do based on now. People that complain can get real good at complaining. People that do They don't have time to complain because they spend their time and focus doing getting results.
Sure.
Please remember that.
Sure.
Because some of these people are confused in the process. And not really understand what has been happening with these last 10, 15 years.
Well,
now, when I made a decision to take care of a family member,
okay,
I was here. Out here, right now, around these kids. These kids know who I am because they see me.
Okay. Well, let me
These
just stay
people
there.
that complaining, they not out here.
Okay. Let me just stay there for a minute. You make a couple good points, and I had to get out my pen and write them down because you all know that's what I do. I had to do that. So, and I want Les to be able to comment on this because I just think it's really interesting because we talked about process. So you mentioned process, 8 Mile, and then you also mentioned about who's in control. Does it matter? Well, your comment was, it really doesn't matter who's in control. So I want to put a pin in that right now, and I want Les to comment on that. Based on all the hard work and the acknowledgement on this day, 16 years ago, does it matter who's in control? What do you think about that?
Yes, it does matter who leads us. It's always been that. Since the beginning of time, it's always the leader that guided the village to wherever success they had. And when you make leadership that's unresponsive to what the people want, then it becomes a king and a dictatorship. And over the years, that's what happened. The people felt that they had a bigger stake and they needed more to say because they're the one that was losing, because they're the one that was fighting the battles.
Sure.
They're the one that was losing their sons and daughters. And the people at the top, they were insulated.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, you make a great point. See what I'm talking about? See how you all trigger things? Because maybe that's the truth of what we're seeing right now with Kanye West and his conversations about all of this. And what did he say? That slavery was a choice. And so now everyone is up in arms with the conversation. And so the truth of the matter is, I was talking to just my muse yesterday, and he made a comment. He said, "But why doesn't anyone understand that he's in business? He is a brand, and he's going to say whatever he can say that fosters a conversation so that he can get acknowledgement for him. Doesn't mean that it's true or not, and he's not looking at the impact that it is having on the regulars of us. But when you look at what that looks like and saying, does it make a difference who's in control? I look at what you all say, and I agree from two angles. I agree with 8 Mile. Hold on one second. I agree with you that it doesn't matter who's in control when you have a plan. So when you know what you're doing, that then you can hold folks accountable or not hold them accountable, but it doesn't stop what you do. It doesn't matter. It does matter. Hold on. No, I'm not saying. Hold on one second. It does. Then I'm going to agree with Les because it does matter who's in control if you have bought into the ideology of democracy and that the people that you vote in will use those powers to make it better for you, to create legislation that works for you.
Let me say this, Collette.
Sure.
You got a plan.
Sure.
I'm in charge. You need my zoning approval to get your plan started. I say no to that because I'm in charge. Your plan is stifled because I'm in charge.
Sure.
That can
well,
happen.
and say that absolutely. And then let's throw in what we know to be true about money. So you can get anything done if you have money. Because the truth is, if you want to block me, then what everyone else does is cut the check and pass it on over to you. And all of a sudden, you miraculously have zoning. Miraculously, you get the space that was supposed to be for a jail, and now you're going to have a stadium. Miraculously, do you want me to keep giving you example upon example about what happens about when this money thing comes into play? I'm just asking.
Money control.
I'm just asking. So
you control this thing.
I'm just saying. So, Ava, I appreciate you. Please, you got to call back, and I got to get this other call in because we only got like 8 minutes.
Y'all have an amazing day. Great show.
You have an amazing day as well. Thanks so much for your patience. You're part of the conversation. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Queen.
Good morning, King.
And good morning to your guest, Brother Patriot.
Good morning.
Queen, I'm in agreement with what you're trying to get across these airways.
Okay.
And that is that the system. Long as we are playing the game, those that set up the system don't have a problem.
Right.
Long as we continue to believe there's hope in the system that they designed, we're not a threat. They can sit back and continue on and on.
Yeah.
Because as long as we are pragmatic the way we are, we're not a threat to nobody. And the bottom line is what we say all the time. Get out of the box. We're locked in a box.
Yeah.
And when you begin to think outside of the box, and you begin to pull the curtain back and see the reality,
right.
Now you are a threat.
Wait, King, stay right there for a second. When he said that, Les, did you envision like the Wizard of Oz? Remember they were on the road and everyone was like, "Oh, excited, we gonna get to the wizard and it's gonna be this great stuff." And then remember when they pulled back the thing and it was like I could just see it. They saw the little man with the microphone was like Jerry Lee Lewis or something in one of the films, and this little man with the microphone. They're like, "Well, you're Oz. Yeah. You're supposed to be the all-powerful Oz that's supposed to give us all these things." And when you pull back the curtain, it's just a regular person that has no power or control. Please finish your thought, King.
And you know, Queen, that you were talking about, many of us don't know what happened in 1877 down at the Wormley Hotel, which is now torn down in Washington, D.C. Okay. And that was when the Democratic and Republican Party sat down and decided who would be president. Because in 1876, they had a what they call a draw. They couldn't figure out who had actually won. Now between Hayes and Tillman. Nice. They made agreement, and they made Hayes the president, and they agreed with Tillman that we would bring the federal troops out of the South. Okay. 1913, off the coast of Georgia, Jekyll Island, okay. The ADL, the Federal Reserve, President, can't think of the president at that time, but okay. He sold America out.
Okay.
They allowed private families to control the banking institutions.
Like you talking about Woodrow Wilson?
Was it Woodrow Wilson? That's why we have
Woodrow
the Patriot
Wilson,
here.
that's him.
All right, Patriots, I'm talking about. Intellect, isn't it wonderful? Yes.
And then when you think about this, Queen,
okay.
I think in the early 1900s, who took over the pharmaceutical medical field?
Okay.
The Rockefellers.
Sure.
And so we continued to play the game with them, and we don't realize that our lives are on the line.
Yeah.
Because the more we begin to awaken, the more they come to realization we got to exterminate them completely.
Uh-huh.
Nixon, Henry Kissinger, in the late 60s,
okay.
Memorandum 200, where they say we must depopulate the planet over 2 billion people.
Okay.
They're doing it. And, you know, I hope this in the young people, because the young people understand are born for the day. See, our reality of how they taught us about God and heaven and all this, we've been hooked, we've been bamboozled, we've been tricked.
Sure.
We've been, see, these people, they have, that run this, who have set up this, have a God complex. Sure. And God only means force and power.
Sure.
And then even most of their own people don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
But they've been made to believe that they are superior because they are white.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's the best point that as a
Queen, I love you.
We love you back. Have an amazing day.
Right.
I mean, absolutely. And I think that's the basis of everything is the superiority that was inbred in this nation based on skin color. We got a minute left. I'm going to give you a chance. Our time is, can you believe our time is up?
Yeah. Let me correct the caller for one thing that I observed.
Okay.
Is that this experiment that he calls, it started in the fatherland. Yeah. This experiment with democracy, it started in the fatherland.
Okay.
This just like anything in evolution. Okay. This just an evolutionary process that we're in now.
Okay.
And this game that we are playing, it's a game that everybody in the world is playing.
Nice.
It's control of the system that you live in.
Yeah. Did y'all get that? That it's all a game. Did you get that? It is the control. Who controls the system? That was good, Les.
Yeah.
That was good. That's it. I mean, you just dropped the mic. That's how you do it on us on today.
Well, that's why but I will be on Joan Watson's show after
Okay,
this.
absolutely. So he's not going anywhere.
Because Joan Watson was part of the this organization. She was part of organizing Keep the Vote.
Yeah, that's everything.
So it is. I think, to me, if we don't get a control over our democracy, and it's going to be a big job. Because you heard me say I was in Washington D.C. 3 years ago, and all I saw people was, they was honoring the father.
Yeah,
they honored the father. They just forget the mother. See, women, they get so disrespected, and it's the mom. It's created us. There's nobody else like us in the world.
That's right.
It's nobody else like us in the world.
Right.
We are created. We were born here.
Yes, we are.
This is it.
This
is the final frontier.
This is the final frontier for all you Trekkies. Look, everyone, our time is up. I couldn't imagine a better way to spend the day with you, to start the morning off with you, to engage you in where we should be thinking and what this looks like. We're asking you to really understand democracy. We're asking you to understand, for you, what this looks like. A voice, a vote, the ability to control, be the author of your fate. That's what this whole thing is about. But if you don't understand the system, you can't make it work for you. You'll just be a cog in the wheel. If that's what you want to be, not a problem. Don't complain. Live your life. It's what it is. We want to give you a little bit more to think about it. So our time is up. We appreciate you. Patriot, I appreciate you as always.
Well, thank you so much.
Me. You're welcome anytime. Yeah. All of you who called in, it is a pleasure. Make today amazing. Understand that the truth is your voice is your vote, but you have to understand what your voice is. If you are in a democracy, you need to act like it and hold people accountable and keep your power. Make them bend to your will and your way, because it ultimately will make it better for you. It's been an amazing conversation. I pray that you have been educated, enlightened, and empowered. I look forward to, being here tomorrow at about 7 a.m. so we can continue with this. See you later.